Welcome back. Part 9, I think. This is the first power up and one of my alignment stages. I just thought I'd give you a bit of a quick look at it running without the top housing on, because once the top housing goes on you can't see all this working. So I'll power him up. There we are, we've got the potentiometer. Seeing, you can see it there. So when I turn the potentiometer, which is attached into the top of the goes into the housing, that will move. And I've got the alignment fairly close, but the thing I wanted to show you was this actually physically working and going around. So watch this. This is like, that's what it looks like, going around and round and round. So I'm going to just lay him over a bit. Bring it back the other way. I've only got a very minimal amount of grease on here just to do my tests. So that's the speed it goes. Doesn't go very fast. And of course the top housing is doing the reverse. It's like, yeah, okay, so very interesting, very cool. So I'll be putting more grease in there of course, but this is just to prove that it's all working okay. And I had to show you this. And it's just like, it's one weird setup. So I've got to put more grease on in the center section. But yeah, I had to just make sure the alignment and everything was okay. I've got to stick the top housing on next, temporarily, to make sure everything is good before I can move ahead. So I thought I'd do this first, and we'll go from there. Okay. Jesus fucking Christ, man! What the fuck? Okay, we're back. Yeah, another 1 step forward and 10 steps back. Here I go again. As you see, I've had to pull it apart because I've done all the wiring, and before the bottom housing can go on, you've got to put the bearing ring on, which means you've got to put the bearings in. So I've had to pull the motor out, and because that was partly greased up as well, and yeah, to get the bearing ring on, because it's got to go over the motor. It's like, yeah, okay, so we've got to do this. We've got to go over the motor, try not to get all the wiring greased up, drop it over that hump at the back. I should show that hump at the back. We just got grease all over it. You've got to get the bearing ring past that, past your wiring, and then grease just went everywhere before you can even set it down onto there. So now I've got grease on everything. I'm going to have to really clean that up. Yeah, okay. So now the bearing ring's on. I can now go back, clean all the grease off, and then put the motor back into the bottom housing, and then move forward again. Oh, and I even had to cut more of the cable off so I could actually sit the motor down beside and give me more room to play with, you know. So yeah, it's just 1 step forward and 10 back. Well, we shall move forward. Next video. Catch ya. Okay, bearing ring on. Now, right, we're going to try and put, good thing it's on my stand, so the little shaft, the middle shaft's not going to get bent. So which means, one good thing, I can move and put the thing on this way, to put the bottom housing on upside down, hopefully, and then I'll be able to bolt that up, and then I can move forward. Okay, we shall try to do this in front of the camera, which is going to be bloody hard because I've got to work around the camera. So basically, and you've got to look at the wires. The wires are going to get in the road, so you've got to go upside down. You've got to force all the wires back into side, make sure they don't get graunched anywhere. Partly set the thing on, make sure all the wires. Oh, you can see what I'm doing. I can see what I'm doing, but you can't see what I'm doing. I'm struggling with this thing. Just keep checking the wiring, line the gear up, and my gad, I've got it. Woohoo! Oh dear me. I've got the bottom housing on. Look out! Oopsies. I forgot to bring. I'm going to put two screws in for now. I'm using these socket head cap screws. Much easier to get out than the hex nuts or the bolts that are on there. Bloody terrible things. Hex bolts are really hard to get out, as you can probably remember when I pulled the thing apart. So I'm using socket head cap screws wherever I can. I'm going to use hex screws on this here, but you can get to that really easily. But just for now, I'm just going to nip this up so I can stand it back up the other way. And because I've probably got to, yeah, I think I've got to, I've got to loosen it again. This rib on the side over here, I didn't quite get it lined up. Just a little bit of playroom within the holes, and then just feel this on the side. Right here. Just get that hump. I'll be lining the whole lot up with the other bolts because I'm just lining up with two at the present moment. So okay, so we just do that. Only problem is now the bearing ring's on there. If I turn it up, the bearing ring's going to move. So I've got a yeah, that's right. Yep. So I can't stand up the other way just yet unless I can find some way of holding the bearing ring in place temporarily. So I'm going to have to devise some way of standing this the other way because I can't. Problem with the master clamp on the top housing, it's very hard to sit it upside down and then put the whole thing up from upside down because it's just you've got to do alignments and everything. Yeah, I shall be back when I try and figure out what I'm going to do. Oh, I might move up those. Scan away, look how tall it is. Okay, bye. Okay, we're back. Right, I made up two right angle pieces. This is just a makeshift to actually hold the bearing ring in place. So basically, we remove one of the bolts for the holes, the bottom housing and the bottom housing and the middle housing together. We put that little bracket in there. And I didn't adjust that enough yet. My measurements must have been slightly out. So and I put a bit of plastic at the bottom just so it doesn't hurt the actual doesn't actually put any marks in the paintwork. So now I just had to flex it a little bit. Put that in there. It doesn't have to be terribly tight. It's just enough to hold it so from all the bearings falling out all over the bloody ground, which I don't want. Okay, there's one in. Another one's at the back, so I'll stick that in. I have to give that a bit of a tweak as well. And a bit more of a tweak. Yep. It's only, what is it, 1.6 mil aluminium. 20 mil wide, I think it is. No, 12 mil wide. Yeah, 12 mil wide by 1.6 mil flat bar. Right. Now we've got that into there, we nip those up. Now the bearing ring can actually move around a little bit, but not going to fall over. And I've got two bolts in there, I can actually physically now turn the whole thing over, and ta-da! The bearing ring didn't fall off. We can now remove my U-Butte little upside down holder thing, bracket I made up, or improvised with. So okay, we now have a bearing ring in place, little holders to hold it in place. I can now physically install the rest of the stuff. I've still got to do my primary alignment and everything. I didn't want to be putting the bearing ring on yet, but it is what it is. So basically I can actually get the controller hooked back up to it again, do my pre-alignment and stuff around and all this stuff. So I shall catch you in the next one. Bye. Okay, we're back. Moving on. Okay, I've got the planetary gear assembly. They call it a Sierra or something like that. Gear assembly. I've greased everything. I've already done a pre-test. I'm about to put. I should put the bearings on. I'm about to put the bearings on, and I'll be putting the top housing on, and then I'll move forward to the plug and socket arrangement down here. So. But yeah, I just sort of do a quick thing here, and all the grease is in there. and using this red Newline one. So yeah, so see how we go here. I don't know really how much to put in here because it's like unknown quantity, so I'll probably put a little bit more in there, but that will move away when it needs to. So yeah, all good skis. So we shall see how we go. And whoops, help me go up there and spin it round. Good if I'm just up there spinning around and you can't see what I'm doing. Rightio, okay. Next video, top will be on. Bye. Welcome back. Tilt this up a bit. Welcome back to Duro 3 YouTube channel. The MORI MA-100 is finished, and here it is. Well, I've got a few little things to do here. I'm just going to do it in front of you. I just thought I'd show you what I've done, the last little bits I did. I'll just bring this heavy beast over here. It's over 9.2 kilos. Okay, what I've done, we'll just tilt it. I've assembled and put on the cable socket. I should try and tilt this down. It'll be easier. So basically, I put the clamp on. I've found a grommet that fit in here, and it's the clamp is all screwed down. I just noticed that's not even straight. How about that? We can't have that. There we go. Okay. So then I've also sealed up the socket because it's a flying lead version. I've made up a brand spanking new cover plate. The original one was steel and it was a bit short and the holes weren't exactly right, so I've made a brand new one and in aluminium, and I've put some seals on the back of it, really thin ones, not rubber. These are closed cell, it's double-sided tape, but this part of it doesn't come off very easily, so I use it for this sort of thing. So basically, and I'm just going to you see all the wiring going up inside. It's all bolted together. I've done all my tests. So basically I'm just going to put this on to finish it off. So I'll do that here now. Countersunk stainless steel screws. The holes, of course, as usual. I think I probably did mention before. These holes were drilled out and had M4 recoil inserts installed. So basically now I'll just knit this up. That'll all seal up nicely. And this is the first time it's actually been done up. Righty-o-ty. So now we'll move him back. As you see, I can see I've got some mast clamps on. The stainless steel ones that I mentioned in the previous video, and the interlock bolts that I used. So they're all on. So basically, I'm just going to take it for a bit of a quick drive for you. Just move it over there out of the road. And I'll bring the controller for it. As I said before, the controller is finished. It's all done. So basically, I'm going to just plug him in, just to go show you it working, and go for a quick drive, supposedly. There we go. There we go. Let's move this around there. And again, these are a cam lock version. They're not threaded. These are cam locks. So you've got a little groove just here. Probably can't see it. I'm going to get closer. And there's a locator here. And basically, it is you line those two lines up, push it together, and the cam lock, you just push it in and turn a quarter of a turn. This cam lock is actually broken, but that's beside the point. So you normally push it in, locate it, and turn about 90 degrees, and it snaps on. So it's a cam snap lock version. So, okie dokie. So let's go for a quick drive. Let's get this back up there somewhere. Might bring that forward a little bit so I can reach it. Okay, turn him on. LED illumination's on. I better do another realignment on this later on, but whatever. So it mustn't be quite exactly right. So there we go. We go for our left. Interesting sound that comes from this. So alignment was painful, to say the least, to try and be able to pull apart, put it together, pull apart, put it together, pull apart, pull it together, pull it apart, to try and get it up, because you can't do anything from the outside. Or my alignment's out again. I must have bumped the alignment. Oh well. I'll have to do a realignment again. So there we go. Actually, it's quite fast in a sense, but there's a really weird sound that comes from it, as you can hear as it rotates around. And sort of got a jerky, funny feel. Probably under load, it'll probably be it'll quieten down a bit. There we go. Oh, my alignment. Oh, there you go. I need to do my alignment. So maybe I should. As usual, the alignment. I must have bumped it when I was having my hand around the back here. So you've got an alignment for this end over here at the back. Similar to other version rotators. So you just align to south. It's just gone slightly past south now because this limit switch just goes slightly past south. Go back the other way. Press this back a bit. And as you see, it runs on a couple of degrees, so you've got to sort of stop early with this thing. Anyway, now we're getting closer to where I'm meant to be. So there you go. So there's a quick run through of the MORI MA-100 and all the upgrades. So there we go. We shall see you next project. Catch ya. Bye.